Welcome to Talks with Don, episode 22, entitled, What Will You Do When an Earth Angel Crosses Your Path? As always, we want to get started with a song from yours truly, Don the Issa, entitled, The Process. Sand goes that water, sixes on level. Attracted to ice on the key to the door is that life's about. This is a tale about angels and devils. When you got the gift, what's a lotus? The petals. Protected is potent and special. They come for the gift, try to run with the gift. Inherently, you must be one with the gift. You cannot take this and code it through time. Perfection of craft must be molded like, here you go. Just hold it as mine. To cipher from chosen is spiritual crime. Infinity stones and songs I came to collect. Sunshine is bright, but rain is so wet. To hear the calling, I had to be alone. The casualty of wrongs, the rarity of stones, flawless diamonds, sapphires, rubies. Sometimes it feels like a duty. Missing the signal can become spooky. I shade. Never know the hour should be bestowed with the power. If you go through the fire, come out cleaner than the shower. 720's the time that I picked up the day, pass this test, get the crown. You gon' be great, don't be late. I won't be late. You were talking to someone that owns estates. This message inside is for you to discover myself. I had to be myself as a youth. Protect what I had to call on recruits. Too many soldiers to fit in a coop. If you were never alone, I can you hear your calling? Dark night of the soul, visions of people's hands falling. The gift that we discuss, you can't touch it or see it. You must be careful of energy leeches. Learn to discern the finicky speeches, the ones that get it, get it. If you hit it still, motherfucker, just beat it. I'm ashamed. Should be bestowed with the power. If you go through the fire, come out cleaner than the shower. You never know the hour. Should be bestowed with the power. If you go through the fire, come out cleaner than a shower. Break these chains, break these chains. Thank you to the pieces needed for character development. Long live Aaliyah. As always, we want to get started off with some libations for the ancestors. This is for the ancestors who stepped up to the calling. Also for the ancestors who wanted to step up to the calling, but due to oppression, they couldn't. Ashe, 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 ashe. Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. Loving and healing, loving and healing, loving and healing. Whoo. Okay. This episode is entitled, What Will You Do When You Come Across an Earth Angel? This story has a little bit of comedic relief, but it's not really to chastise anybody. It's not to make fun of anybody, circumstances, but it's just for earth angels to know when you're being tested, and for people that are on a lower frequency to also know when you're being tested. So this story, I'm not going to tell y'all when this happened, but this story, I met a young lady off of social media. She's a lot younger than me. Down here on her own, trying to go through schooling. So, me being who I am, I always empathize. But there's a degree of being somebody that empathize, and there is a thin line between somebody trying to abuse that empathy. And this is one of those tests on both sides. Before you go to the next level, the Most High will test you to see if you have enough self-respect for yourself as an earth angel, not to let somebody abuse you, but to teach them the lesson and get out the way. So, met this young lady off of a dating website. We go out, and, you know, as always, they say never date somebody or get into a long-lasting relationship with somebody off of social media that comes at you first. So we go out. First off, she doesn't eat like I eat. She wanted to eat seafood. I'm a vegan, so I go to this place. She has seafood. I have a salad. And our lifestyles were just totally opposite. So after we leave the place, we go to hang out by this pool. We hanging out by the pool or whatever. This is a period where I was still dealing with marijuana. I don't deal with it anymore. But we sitting by the pool, smoking. She has a friend whose apartments that it is, and we just chilling, and eventually the friend comes down. So the friend, she's of another race, and she has a black boyfriend, and as we chilling, smoking or whatever, and she just comes out of the blue with some powdery substance, no warning, nothing, puts it on her hand, and just goes to town. And she had the nerve to try to offer me some, and I'm like, nah, I don't do that. And she had some other pills as well, Xanax, and she asked the other chick, man, you want such and such? And the other chick that I'm with, nah, I'm cool. So this was the first red flag. This was on our first time hanging out. So the girl rode with me to the friend's apartment. we cut this situation short after that happened. And she said, "You come back tonight. You come back tonight." And I leave her over there. She calls me. Think the next day. Needless to say, we didn't hang out later on that night. She says her and her friend ended up getting into it over that situation because she was embarrassed. But this was an eye opener to me. My thing is, why are you so comfortable coming out with those type of narcotics in front of your friend? So my mind is already picking up, oh, shorty that I'm with must be some kind of dope fiend. You know, that's not to disparage anybody, but it fits like a puzzle later on into the story. So I leave. She tells me at a later date she got into it with her friend. But after I leave and I didn't come back, she calls me and asks me, man, for just some chump change. But as I always say, the Most High puts you in situations as an earth angel to see if you're going to have respect for yourself. Mind you, I keep something on me. I always have something on me. So this is not my girlfriend. This was our first time meeting. And so this was a red flag. Like, why does she keep asking me for this little chump change? And I didn't want to believe it. But I'm like, man, is she asking me for money to do such and such what the other girl, the clear color girl, just did? And I'm like, I don't know. So we hung out the next week. So when we hang out the next week, she asked me, bring me some food. She wanted some chicken or whatever. And so I'm already starting to see a pattern. I'm like, either one, shawty must be a dope fiend, or two, she must be really struggling. So when I still, like I said, this at a time when I was still smoking, dealing with marijuana, I bring the smoke, bring the food, and so once I get to her apartment, this is my first time coming to her apartment. You know, I always drink water and hydrate myself to the fullest. So naturally, water goes through you quickly, and you're gonna have to use the restroom. So as soon as I go up to her apartment, I say, man, can I use the restroom? So I go in the restroom and be glad I didn't have to do that. I look and I didn't see any toilet paper. That's about the third red flag. I'm like, shit, you don't got no toilet paper? And that was needless to say, that was my last time going over to this young woman's apartment. But she didn't have to tell me any further, because once I saw she couldn't even put toilet paper in her own apartment, I surmised to myself, yeah, shawty a dope fiend. And that's not to disparage anyone, and it's not to make fun of anybody. So after that, we still talking, but it's always this same little number of chump change money she keeps asking me for. And so that's why I assume, oh man, she want this little chump change to go get high on some, whatever. Y'all already know. So once I seen that, I'm like, man, I'm not doing this anymore. You don't have any sense of reality, nor do you have any sense of responsibility. But I told her in a text message, hey, you don't have to try to finesse me for what I would naturally give you. I feed myself well. So I don't mind taking a young woman to get something to eat because I treat myself well. But if you're so low-minded that you think a meal is finessing somebody, you need to raise your vibration. And this is the point that I told her. Knowing me, knowing I'm empathetic, knowing my heart, man, I would have given the young woman some toilet paper. I would have put food in the chick's refrigerator, but all she wanted to do was ask me for the chump change to get high. So it goes back to when I'm saying the topic of the video. What will you do when you come across an earth angel? And this is duality because it works on both sides. Malevolent beings were trying to use her to try to lower my frequency, but I caught the play. But higher beings or earth angels or what you call God or the universe put me in her path to see how she would treat somebody that would help her. But I had enough self-respect to go ahead and cut it off early and tell her, hey, I would have helped you put such and such, but just the way you coming and trying to treat me, I'm not going to do it. So a lot of times when the Most High or somebody's spirit guides puts an earth angel in a person's presence that can help them either one, raise their vibrations or help them raise their vibrations enough to get out of a sticky situation or a lower situation where they attract nothing but low vibratory people, they try to misuse the earth angel. They try to, just take advantage of them completely. And I wouldn't let it happen to me. So my lesson was learned. I hope she learned her lesson. But what goes on is everything that we do is being recorded by a higher source. So a lot of people do a lot of malevolent things behind closed doors. Just go back and look at some of my older videos and they think they're getting away with it. But when the Most High puts an earth angel in your presence, a lot of times that is your last chance to get right. And if you don't get it right when they put an earth angel in your presence, you go through a lifetime of karmic loops until you learn a lesson, or worse, because you treated somebody so harshly that was sent to help you. So the point that I'm trying to make is, one, earth angels, people that are empathetic, never let your empathy or desire to love be used and abused to the point where you discount yourself. One, to the point where you lower your vibrations, and lowering your vibrations sometimes can bring about, like I said, other low vibing entities coming through different people. So a lot of times people don't pass that test when an earth angel is put in their presence. They just try to use them, abuse them, snuff that light out, try to steal their energy, be disrespectful to them, because like a lot of people like on TikTok and these Instagram and Facebook reels will tell you about earth angels, they don't look like what you think they're supposed to look like. But young women, a lot of times, they're more in tune with their antennas, in tune sometimes with gifts, and they can feel the energy of an earth angel, but they won't say anything. But they try to siphon the energy, use the earth angel as a trauma ground for where they can just call them and dump trauma. I don't let people call me and talk to me and dump trauma on me. People try. But when I feel that energy as soon as people come in my presence with that kind of stuff, so I just politely give them a few words, a few encouraging words, and let them move on about their day. But as melanated people, in these times, we have to use discernment. We have to use discernment because when you're somebody that has the ability to love, has the ability to heal, you're going to attract all kind of energies. But most of the time, you're going to attract people that just want to siphon the energy. Sometimes you will attract other healers, other people that can help you along your journey, but you have to have the discernment, one, not to let your lower self try to make it about sex, or two, just to have respect for yourself. So, what will you do when an earth angel crosses your path? Will you use them, abuse them, disrespect them, try to siphon the light, or will you try to learn the lessons that you're supposed to be taught to get to the next level? 10 times out of 10, most people never learn a lesson. So they say stuck in a cycle of karmic loops. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. I thank you for the people that are taking what I'm doing and learning and interacting and acknowledging that they got some form of energy. And I thank you for that. I'm grateful. Love, abundance, peace. One.